Welcome back to part 2 of the Crush Your Cravings Masterclass. I'm Esther Blum, integrative dietitian and author, and I want you to take a minute and let's do a little bit of recall from yesterday's class just to make sure that you're really nailing down these concepts, because these concepts for crushing your cravings are not only to eradicate your cravings within 2 days of switching up your protein intake, but also these are tools for longevity, tools for a healthy lean body, tools for balancing your hormones, tools for good sleep. So I like to make sure that you're just conquering your health and really getting a handle on things that are going to make such a huge difference in your life. Certainly if you have children, this is incredible information for a child's developing brain, helps with mental focus, with ADD, ADHD, all of which stick with you in adulthood, by the way, and really making sure that you are balanced in your mood, your energy levels, your hunger, your cravings, your sleep. All of these are just such incredibly simple things to do that will raise the quality of your life tenfold. Okay, so I'm here to support you in getting some incredible results for yourself. So we talked about getting 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now, one thing I did not address yesterday was if you're super overweight or have, more than 20, 30 pounds to lose, then you want to do what's called an adjusted body weight. So let's say you weigh 180 and you want to weigh 140, maybe you want to do an adjusted weight of 160, just so you're still working towards those good protein goals. The reality is, as long as you're getting a minimum of 100 grams per day, you're going to do really well. There was a wonderful study I saw that tested Navy SEALs and gave them very low calorie diets, but and put them through rigorous physical training and still gave them a minimum of 100 grams of protein a day, and they maintained their muscle mass, okay? I still want you to go above and beyond that to really, really optimize and fight your cravings. So, but let's get started there at a bare minimum, because if you're starting out with a really low protein diet, it's going to feel overwhelming for some of you to get to, 140, 160 grams a day. So start at 100, then build up to 110, then build up to 120. Okay, and also make sure that you're getting in good quality fats. Have a few nuts with your morning protein, have some steak and almonds, have some smoked salmon and avocado, have some eggs cooked in low olive oil or grass-fed butter, butter from grass-fed cows like Kerrygold. So all of those can help you move the needle with your cravings too. The more you balance your blood sugar, the quicker your cravings go away. Now, the cravings may be emotional, which brings us to our next part of the discussion, which is tip 2 for today, which is to manage your stress. Stress has everything to do with cravings. How many times have you had a really stressful conversation, either at work or at home, and you head right to the vending machine or right to the pantry, and you just go and grab that chocolate or that peanut butter cup, or face plant into a tub of ice cream? All of those can be really triggered by stress, and especially if you're someone who uses food to comfort themselves, that the sweet is the first trigger, because it's a temporary fix, right? It's like if you are an addict or struggled with drug use, right? You're gonna want drugs to numb the pain. Well, for us, food numbs the pain. And for some of us, food numbs the pain. And I always say you can't put chocolate on a bleeding wound. Chocolate that won't fix the problems. The answers you seek are not inside your refrigerator. So you really temporarily, again, it feels great. It's like a glass of wine. It's really numbing and distracting. But once the wine wears off, sometimes the rebound effect is way worse. So you want to make sure that everything is under control. And that goes back to stress management. And I cannot think of a better time to talk about stress management. So these are tools that take a while to practice and develop, but once you have these tools in your belt, you can use them forever. And remember that it takes 28 days to build a new habit. So be patient with yourself. Do not expect perfection. Just start logging and tracking. I love to use tracking apps to help me say, hey, I did this for 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row, 30 days in a row. And so you're building habits over time. Okay. So here's how to lower your stress. It's not complicated. You do not need to be, wearing white robes, sitting on top of a mountain, meditating. This is something you can do anytime, anywhere. The first thing I want to talk about is breathing. There is clinical research, again, that shows that deep breathing for 10 minutes a day will lower your cortisol levels. Cortisol is that stress hormone that is released during times of fight or flight. And cortisol also, if we have high cortisol running constantly from constant stress, poor sleep, too much caffeine or booze, too much sugar, we tend to get not only a muffin top, but eventually that muffin top turns into a big old cake top. So you want to make sure that your cortisol is low. 10 minutes of deep breathing can do this. Now, I like to try and focus. I visualize a flame of a candle, and I try and focus on that. And my brain tries so hard to focus on that to the detriment and the strategic ignorance of everything else. So I clear my head, I breathe. You can also put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. Feel your stomach rising up and down. My son did yoga with this amazing teacher when he was younger. It was group yoga. She put all of these sweet little heart-shaped rocks on their tummies that said breathe on it and told them to just watch the rock moving up and down. It was the most beautiful little sweet, gentle, loving exercise I've ever seen. But also, more importantly, deep breathing physically reshapes the amygdala in the brain. That is the fight or flight center in the brain. And the studies I'm referencing have been done on monks, where there are PET scans done of their brains before and after meditating, and the blood flow and the biochemical changes that goes on in their brain is real and measurable, and it's reproducible. So we have what's called neuroplasticity, where we can rewire our nervous system. We can rewire the fight or flight center in the brain. And again, this has everything to do with cravings. So if you don't want to do self-guided meditation, or if you can absolutely do a guided meditation through Insight Timer, which is free. You can do the Headspace app, which is not free, but whatever floats your boat, just find an app that works for you and do a guided app, or you can just go on YouTube, do a guided app. Now, if you're someone who jumps out of bed in the morning and you have 1,000 thoughts, you hit the ground running and you're really stressed out, maybe you want to meditate, wake up, 10 minutes earlier and just turn on a meditation. It's a really nice way to start the day. Maybe you want to do it at night, which is when I like to do it, because I like to fall asleep to meditations, and your subconscious will still hear all of it, okay? But none of this is hard. It's just the consistency that really, really counts. Okay, another great stress management, to get high every day on endorphins. That means physically moving your body. That can be yoga, that can be running, that can be weightlifting, that can be walking, that can be a spin class, it can be any of those things. Really, really simple, but we don't want to just sit all day. Inertia is not good for the mind, it's not good for the body, and you have no physical outlet. I remember all the years I lived in New York City for about 16 years, and would just go after a really stressful day at work and run in the park for an hour, and I was a new person after. So get out in nature. That's the other piece I want to say is Japanese researchers spend a ton of money researching what we like to call forest bathing, where you get out in the forest and you're, in the woods and you're surrounded by nature. And to me, no money is needed to have been spent on that, but glad they have the clinical data. The reality is, if you're surrounded by birds and running water and trees and not technology, not screens. Even if you live in a city, if you can get to a park and just unplug, be surrounded by nature, go on hikes, go away on hiking trips on the weekends and things like that. That alone will also do wonders for your stress levels and your mood. And I can tell you, my family and I are always our best selves. We're together in the woods on a long hike, on a nature walk. It's even better than like walking on the street or, on concrete. It's really having dirt and grass beneath your feet. Go barefoot if you can. That also connects and roots you to the earth. Okay. Turn off your phone after 8 p.m. It is one of my great joys and the most freedom igniting things that you can do is to turn off your phone or your devices. If you can't, make sure that you put your computer on, you turn off the blue light and you wear, look at these gorgeous glasses. You wear blue light blocking glasses. I got these on Amazon. I think they were $12 to $16. And they block the blue light. And sometimes when I teach classes at night, I wear them because I don't like being on screens at night. It messes with my sleep later on. And by 8, I really like to unplug. Okay. Also, you want to make sure that you're journaling and processing your emotions and ending the day with some gratitude. That's another great way to lower your stress and control your cravings. So write 3 things down that you're grateful for at the beginning and the end of every day. And in terms of, figuring out why things are happening to you in life and conquering the emotional part of your stress, instead of asking the question, why me, and feeling like a victim about your life situation, try to flip it on its head and ask yourself, what's the lesson I'm supposed to be learning in this? What's the growth in all of this? People don't grow without pain. If you look at how a diamond is made, it takes hundreds of pounds of pressure, if not thousands of pounds of pressure, to create that gorgeous, shiny, brilliant diamond. Okay? So managing your stress, very, very important for helping your cravings and getting to the root cause of this so that you can totally be in control and the mastery of your metabolic domain. So I'm excited for the 3rd part of our video series. You're going to want to stay till the end. Got a good bonus to offer you. Talk soon.